Alright, let's go ahead and make some ways to secure the left and the right sides here. So, same kind of procedure. We're going to edit just this one piece. We're going to project the geometry to see where exactly the sides are. And what exactly are we looking at here? Let's look at this from a different view. Okay, we're seeing these things here. We'll project this side first so we know which lines should be right. Okay, so this is where the sides actually are. We are going to want 3 screws here and 3 screws here. Uno, dos, tres. We want these to line up horizontally from each other so it looks more professional. We're going to make a vertical constraint with the midpoint here. Then each of the center points should fall in line. And we're actually going to have the top and the bottom be a little bit, we're not going to have them evenly spaced out. So let's make this 0.625 actually sounds really good. We'll leave that as it is. We'll make that 0.625. And we're going to make the middle one right in the middle. So where's my green dot? There. Match that with that. That's with my horizontal constraint. So that lines up both sides. Why are these still green? Okay, because I forgot to do the vertical constraint. When they're dark blue like this, that means they're fully constrained. So let's go and take care of that first. Make holes that are all countersinks. Change your distance to all. And that should be good. Okay. Then return. And let's add those same things to each of these ends. So new sketch, project geometry, and if you hover over the side here, it'll project all of the geometry. Then you just have to go back in and click the centers of your circles. Click on hole, change that to distance, 0.125. Take a look at the other side, so return, double click on this side, new sketch, right click, project geometry, point, centers of each of those, finish your sketch, hole, distance 0.125, 1 inch in, all looks good to me. Take a look at the other side here. New sketch. Well, I guess we have to double click it first. Then we can say new sketch. And we're going to project the geometry of everything we did here. Put in those 6 points. 4 and 5 and 6. Hole, countersink, distance is going to be through all. Return, and then we'll edit the sides one piece at a time. Just 1, 2, and 3. Return, and double click the last side. Find your 3 center points again, 1, 2, 3. Finish your sketch. Hole, depth of 1 inch, 0.125. Okay, last thing we have to do is find a way to attach the bottom. And the bottom, we're just going to put, well, let's go for 3 on the bottom. Drawing calls for 2. I think it should have 3. We'll do 3. New sketch on this face. Want to see where the bottom actually is. Okay. We'll go 1, 2, 3. I want this to line up. You know what? Let's make a little line. That's just for reference. And now we can find the midpoint of that line we just drew and say that all 3 of these center points have to line up on the middle of that. After they line up, you can highlight it and make it a construction line. Vertical constraint, I want that to line up with the middle. And then let's make this 0.75 from each edge. Alright, finish your sketch. Let's go into making a hole. Countersink again. Distance is through all. 0.125. New sketch on the bottom end. Project geometry. Put the new points in place on the 3 things that affect it. 1 and 2 and 3. Switch back to hole again. Change that to distance. 0.125. Make a new sketch over here. Project geometry again. There's one of them. There's another one. There's another one. Add points to those 3 projected geometries. Make those into holes. Distance 0.12 or 1 inch, 0.125. Looks good. Return. Last sketch is on this one. Project geometry again. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. Find the center points of them. Finish your sketch. Counterboard through all. Okay. So now we have, this is attached. Our 2 sides are attached. This is attached, kinda. Doesn't have a special countersink on it, but that's okay. And that should be everything. Let's save this and go to make a presentation file. So, Carpenter's Toolbox Assembly.